Hi everybody! Today we are going to be creating a piece of abstract art that is also going to communicate meaning. So it's going to communicate a message, and for this assignment it's going to communicate about you. So I have attached a worksheet that kind of has different shapes and designs on it, and you are going to base your artwork off of that. So I am looking at mine on the computer, and across the bottom it asks you pretty much how old you are. My age is not on there, and so I'm just going to put mine on there. You would use the design that's on your paper. So, for example, if you were 6, you might put a nice big 6. I am recommending that you put your age first because that way it's going to help break up your paper into different sections. So these shapes and lines are going to overlap, and it's going to kind of create this big jumbled piece of artwork very similar to the artist Vasily Kandinsky. So right now I am 38, so I'm going to make this nice and big. You can draw yours out with a Sharpie. You could draw it with pencil first and then trace over it. You could also use a black crayon. Make sure that if you are using a Sharpie that you have a piece of paper underneath so that you don't mark up your table or your desk at home. And I'm going to make these cross into each other. Okay. Next, I'm going to look at some of those boxes and I'm going to find the ones that are true for me. So I see that one of those options is I have a dog, and it's asking you to draw a circle if you have a dog. And I only have one dog, so I'm just going to draw one circle. And maybe I'm going to tuck that circle inside the 8. You can put yours wherever you want. You can put it over here, up there. You can make it big. You can make it small. It's your choice. Another thing that I see is I like to read, and I do. I enjoy reading a good book. So I'm going to add a nice rectangle on my work. Almost looks like a book cover a little bit. Okay. I like trying new things as kind of a funky cloud shape. And so maybe I'm going to make that in here. And I'm turning my paper a little bit. Just to get it to go in a different angle. So I kind of made that funky cloud shape. It's okay if it doesn't match exactly what's on the paper. I also see I play sports. Now, Ms. Tuttle does not play any sports, but if you are a friend who does, you might add a big oval over in here, or you could even add it going this way. Either direction is totally up to you. There is another one that says, I like to cook, and it has some wavy lines going. I'm not always a fan of cooking, but I will say right now I can use my grill, and I much prefer to use my grill. So I'm going to add some of those wiggly lines, and I put them inside that 8 shape. That's fine. I'm making them stop where they were. I see a heart for if you have siblings, so that would be brothers and sisters, and it's fine if they're step brothers and sisters or half brothers and sisters. Every family is different, and I'm going to make that heart. I'm going to make it tuck in right over here because I have one older sister. If you have more than one, you might make a more than one heart. You might have 3. So you might add 3 hearts, or you could add a heart inside of a heart. Okay, my next one is I am excited about the school year. And again, that's kind of one of those wiggly lines. And I am kind of excited about the school year. So I am going to add my wiggly line here, coming out from the 3. And I'm going to make that come to the edge of my paper. What I'm trying to do is make this look like it fills the space. My next line is, I am nervous about this school year. And you know what? This school year is very different. It is different for everybody. And I am a little bit nervous. I hope that everything goes well for everybody. But I can still feel nervous and still be excited. I can feel both ways. So I'm going to make that line look like it's coming out, almost like from this donut in my 8. Another one is, I like to play video games. Every now and then, I do enjoy playing some video games. So maybe I'm going to add that line. Maybe I'm going to make it inside my cloud. And that's a loopy line. Another line is, I am a hybrid learner. And the hybrid learners would draw a nice rhombus. Maybe I'm going to put that rhombus inside my first rectangle for I like to read. And then there's another one that says, I am a remote learner, and that is a rectangle inside of a rectangle. And so I might put that right here. That one almost looks like a computer screen. And then my last line is, I like to play board games. So I have used a lot of space, but I do like playing board games. I really like the game Sequence and other card and board games. I'm going to make that look like it goes right over there. So right now, my paper is pretty busy, and it's all about me. I have included my age. I showed that I like reading, that I'm a remote learner, that I'm a hybrid learner, that I'm a little nervous about this school year, but at the same time, I'm still excited about it, that I have a sister. So all of these symbols and lines are being used in an interesting way to fill the space of my paper. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some color. So with all of these lines that are kind of jumbled together, I am going to choose some sections, some different parts to color in. So I'm going to show you that, and then I'm going to keep coloring, and I will check back when I feel I am all done. Okay, so I notice in here there's 2 different shapes inside of this circle. So I can color those 2 different colors. So I'm going to start with this one, and then I'm just going to look for other shapes that happen when my lines and shapes overlap with each other. Now, you do not have to color in your entire paper. I would encourage you to kind of skip around a little bit with your coloring so it doesn't look like you only colored in like this part of my paper, that it looks like you kind of jumped around and colored in different sections at a time. So I'm going to continue coloring, and I will check back in when I'm all done. I could stop here and call mine fairly finished. If you look at my paper, I really have colored in about half of my paper, and half of it is still white. If you want to go above and beyond, which I always encourage, but I don't require, but if you want to go above and beyond, you would really think about coloring this entire thing. I would make sure that you're still switching colors. So I want you to notice this. I started coloring it orange, and then I realized, oh, I never hit a line. I don't touch anything else until way over here. So that's why all of this area is orange, because it's one shape. Just like this kind of funky looking shape is one shape because it doesn't touch anything else. So it's one nice color, along with in here, inside where I made those kind of almost like the steamy lines that show that I like to cook, which most of the time I really don't, but I do like grilling right now. It almost, I noticed it made kind of like a pattern. So I colored it in a pattern to kind of bring that out a little bit more. So I could stop now, but I could also keep going and see what it looks like if I color the entire thing. Okay, at this point, my artwork is completely filled in. And some of the things that you want to pay attention to is how neat is your coloring? Did you fill in all, or at least almost all, of those white spaces? So even just looking at mine, I noticed that in here, in the red, I might want to go back in and just fill that in a little bit more. So something that you want to do is you want to take a look at your artwork and ask yourself, is this your very best? If it's not your very best, I want you to go back in, look at it a little bit more, and figure out, okay, what improvements might I need to make? So I think this turned out pretty well. I'm going to go back in and fix this red real quick, but then I think that I might be able to call it finished. So I hope you enjoyed following along. Don't forget to submit your artwork so that you get credit for doing it. And I hope you enjoyed creating an abstract piece of artwork that communicates meaning. So it tells us all about you.